best reading month. And then the latter, ma'am, is my house haunted? What is this tapping? Ma'am, you best not try it, because I'm not playing these games. Hi, welcome back to my channel, and today, I know I'm late. When this is going up, it's gonna be late, so I'm gonna be posting. This is my November wrap up. I read 8 books this month, which is less than I did last month, but like, I'm not mad at it. That's more than I was hoping to, because one, I backed off the audiobooks, because last month I read a lot of audiobooks. This month I only read 3 audiobooks. And then also, there was also the fact that I had a lot of finals and all these things happening in my classes. I had a lot of tests this month, and your girl's trying to pass, because I'm not trying to take these classes again. So it was a subpar reading month. It was good, I think, in my personal opinion. So let's get down into the statistics. This month, I read a total of 3,564 pages. Out of my reading list, because I have a monthly TBR, I read all of my TBR books except for one. And that was because I started it and then I didn't get to finish it because I had things that came up. And I'll talk more about that later. But yeah, I read all the books out of my TBR except for one. Out of the books I read 3 audiobooks, and no, I read 4 audiobooks this month and 4 physical copies, 4 hard copies. I read 4 audiobooks, 4 hard copies. Those audiobooks were later in the month, but yeah, we'll talk about that. This month was like pretty average to me. I felt like I didn't read a lot of 5 stars, but like the thing is like I have 5 stars in this list, but all of them were like in the beginning of the month. I had about I had 1 5-star. No, 2 5 stars. No, I had 2. No, not 2. The 5. No, I had 3 5 stars, and then 2 4 stars, 2 2 stars, and then I think that's it. And then I had another 4-star. So it's different stuff. So I'll get into it. So we're gonna go from the beginning of the month to the end of the month. I believe the first book of this month I read was Bunny by Mona Awad. And who was that? Sis was a doozy. She was weird. I liked it. I don't know. I liked it. It was like half the time. God, lipstick. Half the time, I didn't know what was happening and I didn't understand. It was weird, but like in the best possible way. So I ended up giving her 5 stars. This is about like this girl that ditches her best friend to be with these other groups of girls in her college, and she's doing a master's, and it's just things happen. It turns out the girls are turning boys into bunnies, and if you read it, you know what I'm talking about. And it just got weird. I was like, what? I loved it. I had a great time. I cannot complain. I gave this book 4 out of 5 stars, and I really liked it. I had a great time. The reason why I didn't give it a 5-star was like, I don't know, it was weird, but I liked it. So I'm not gonna say it wasn't a 5-star for me, and I don't know if I can explain why. I mean, like, for me, my 5 stars tend to be contemporary, and that's because I'm probably like more leaning towards contemporary in my style, and I guess I just didn't appreciate. I don't know. I haven't read any horror this year yet that I've given 5 stars. I don't know why. Okay, this is a 4-star. It was good, but it was like my top tier favorite book. But it was good. It was weird good, and I liked it. I had a great time. The next book, this book, I was pleasantly surprised about me liking it. I thought I was gonna be like, it's a book. It's about this, but like this, mwah, chef's kiss, impeccable. Oh, I loved it so much. I cried. Usually, I don't care much for like famous people, but like celebrity biographies and things like that. I don't care for it. I'm like, oh, they're a famous person and they talk about it. That's fine, I guess. You do that. And you'll see later in the month why I say I don't care much for famous people biographies. But with her, like, she wasn't like, I guess she wasn't like name dropping, which is really good. And then also there's the fact that she like focused more on like, she was like, I guess I like the message she was giving about like women going to school and trying, like a woman going to school and trying to like be successful, even though she was raised not like her family, like she was raised, she's a minority that usually at her time it wasn't like a thing for her to be going to school, and and of course that was possible because her parents pushed her to. And I just liked the message she was giving. She was very well spoken, and when she met Barack, that was the only straight I did not know I could be invested in a straight couple. That's like the only straight couple I ever cared about. So I'm like, I was like, when he came, I was like, ma'am, I don't know. I just really liked it, and I ended up giving it like, why are you blocking? Why am I making? I ended up giving it 5 stars because I had a great time and she was very well spoken, and I liked all the things she spoke about. But ooh, I loved it. I was so excited to read this. I was so excited to read this in the beginning of the month, like in October. I was like, oh, November's here, my script credits is gonna roll up and I'm gonna read this, and I was not disappointed. I wasn't disappointed. People were telling me, oh, it's a really good book, you're gonna like. I'm like, oh, I'll see about that. And like, bitch, it was, and I did like it, so that was great. All right, another book I read this one had more of, I mean, for me, I had more of an intricate story to me. Like, it wasn't a bad book, but like I had started this book earlier in the year, back in like, I think like April, May era time, and I just didn't finish it. I just DNF'd it, and I was like, I'm gonna finish it before the end of the year because the sequel came out yesterday and I wanted to buy it. I haven't bought it yet, but like I'm planning to read it. Yesterday being the 3rd. So this book. I liked it. The beginning was weird because, like, you know, the whole, like, the beginning, I got to, like, chapter 3 or 4, and, like, I didn't like, I guess it wasn't, like, the book's fault. I just lost interest because I went straight into a reading slump. I went, like, whoop. I dived straight into reading slump while starting this book, so I just didn't read it. I just left it. So then now I read it, and I really liked it. I liked the message it was giving. It was about, so this is about, like, this girl named, how do you say her name? It's about this girl named Zelly, and I think 11 or 7 years ago, magic went away from her town, and now the ruling caste, the king and stuff, they're mistreating her people called the Magi, and it's about her going out and getting that power back. And it's really good. And like at the end of the book, the author states that the book was showing commentary on the abuse against African American people, because, you know, at the time she wrote this, it was at the time of when there was a lot of like police brutality in the news against minorities like African American people. And I liked the message. When I was reading it, I saw that. I saw the parallels she was making. I saw the commentary she was having, but I also saw that it was, to me, it wasn't only for minorities like African American people. I felt like for us African Americans, I felt like it was also commentary on how any minority is treated in general. Any minority, any person of color, as well as the LGBTQ plus community. I mean, it just, me as a queer person, I felt like it was showing all these things that are happening today, and I guess it was making a message about it. And like, it got to scenes where like the parallel was so fucking strong that like I almost cried. I was like, wow, this is really good. So I ended up giving this 4 stars, and of course I'm reading the sequel. It's really good. I had a great time, and it's just, ooh, yes, it was great. It was just what I needed. But I did the audiobook for this one because I don't know, I didn't feel like reading the physical copy, and I think that's why last time I didn't get far into it, because I was reading the physical copy. It's just too much. I got triggered like the first 2 pages, like the shit I had, like the first 2-3 chapters, I was triggered. I was like, oop, nope. None of that, no. So I'm excited for the sequel. The next book I read was a popular book back in 2017 when this was published, and I never got it. And then I was on Book Outlet a couple months ago, and I was like, oh, yoink, add to cart, come to me now, thank you. And that baby is Sadie. And let me tell you, all the praise is well worth it. I read this in one sitting. I sat on my bed for 4 hours and finished this in one night, and I regret nothing. I regret nothing. I do not regret anything. So this is about this girl named Sadie, and a couple months ago, I think a year ago, in the time frame that I was given a year ago, it showed her sister died, and it's just about her going out and getting revenge on her sister's murder. Her sister, and she knows who it is, so she's going out and doing that. And I just really liked it, the format, like the switch between the documentary and her part of the story. And I really like the documentary aspect, and I really like all the other characters finding out what happened to her. It was just, it was so good. Read it, bitch. I gave her 5 out of 5 stars, if you could not tell. And I just really liked it. I really liked everything that Courtney Summers did in here. I'm probably, if she has, I'm gonna look and see if she has other books, and I'm planning to read her other books. At this point of the month, it's like the 18th, and this is the part of the month where it went downhill. This part of the month was the part where I thought I could do the Buzzwordathon. The word was, it was numbers. When Dr. Nala made the announcement video, I was like, oh bitch, I have a TBR, I have all these shit. I'm like, I am ready, hunty. I was so ready. And then I don't know why, but all the books I picked, I was just so disappointed. It just like, I was gonna make a video and everything, and like, it flopped. The books I read flopped. That week I had 3 tests. No. I had 2 tests and a final that week. And all those classes were classes I had to get good grades and to pass that class. So I didn't have time to read, and I didn't even get to finish all the books I read on time. I didn't even get to read all the books I wanted to read on time. I was so disappointed in myself. But I understood, because that whole week I was at the library every single day because I was studying for like my anatomy practical, and you know, a bitch gotta pass. I read 13 Reasons Why. And this was 13 reasons of garbage. It was 13 reasons of disappointment. 13 reasons why no. I did not have a good time. I had the worst time. I read this in one day, which was fine. It was whatever. I gave this, I think 2 out of 5 stars. 2 or 1 out of 5. One or the other. It doesn't matter. This is about this boy named Clay, and one of, were they even friends at this point? Like, one of his crush dies, and then he finds out that, she has tapes, and he gets a set of tapes about what happened and why she died. And this boy was so self-centered. He was so self-centered. He was like, oh my god, poor me, why am I on here? I don't know what's happening. Oh my goodness. Like, how about you sit down and find out what happens? And then the whole book had victim blaming. It had gaslighting. It was like, it's a whole slew of shit. It had a lot of shit that was not okay. It was not okay. I don't know if the author did it like that, but like, it was not okay. Clay was the worst character. And I know the book was about 13 reasons why she died, and it's gonna be horrible. But like, some stuff that were in there weren't necessarily things that horrible characters did. It was shit like Claire was gaslighting victims. There was victim blaming. Throw her away. Another book of disappointment. I'm disappointed. I'm not even mad. I'm just disappointed. I had such high expectations, and they were not met. And I would like to speak to the manager. I'm Karen, and I'd like to speak to the manager, because I don't know. The ratings were like 4 stars. I was like, bitch, where? Who 4 stars? This? No. Must have been a mistake. There's a glitch in the matrix. No. I disagree. So, this is about these four group of kids that there was five kids and they went there was five kids and they went into detention, and then only four of them comes out because one of them dies in detention. It's just about finding out what happens, and I was so disappointed. I felt like this was way too fucking long. The book just dragged and dragged and dragged, and yeah, they're trying to find out what happened, but like halfway, like in the middle of the book, nothing was happening. I thought it'd be like more fast-paced shit, and like it turns out that all the kids, the kid that died, they all had different reasons why they would want to kill the one that dies, and the ending was bullshit. It made sense, but it was bullshit. I didn't have a good time. I was listening to it on Audible, and halfway through the book I played at 3 times speed because I just wanted to get it done. This is the face of disappointment. This is the face of, this was not good. This was not it. I didn't like it. I gave it, I think 2 or 3. 2, I think. I didn't like it. I didn't have a good time. I also read this one, Toil and Trouble, 15 Tales of Women in Witchcraft. I'll give you this. There's a couple stories in here I liked. There was like a solid 5 stories I liked. Everything else, no. At the end of the book, I ended up skimming. I didn't like it. Was there like a story here called Toil and Trouble? There was like a couple in here. It was just some stuff were like very tropey. And I find out that I only like the stories about like with queer characters, and maybe that's just me, but like the only ones that were good to me were those queer characters. Oh, and the one with the fucking with the cow, and that was one in here about like a girl that like puts like cow innards, cow things that don't usually get eaten from cows into people's lockers. I gave it 2 stars, I think. No, I think 3. I don't know. I think it was, let me find out. I gave it 2 stars and I was not impressed. I was disappointed. I did not have a good time. I just didn't like it. It was the week of my final and I wanted something fun. And the book I did want to read, I couldn't read it because I didn't have time. And this was 15, so I was like, I'm going to read 2 of these a night. It felt like a chore. Maybe it's because I made it seem like a chore. Maybe that's why I didn't like it. Maybe because I don't like making reading a chore for me, because if I do, then I just don't like what I'm reading. And maybe that's why I didn't end up liking this. A book I forgot to mention that I read was Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo. This was the second book and final book to the Six of Crows duology, and it just follows them. It just it's the continuation of what happened in the last book. I'll say this: I need to stop underestimating Kaz Bracker in this book. I need to stop underestimating him, because there's sometimes in this book he does some shit happens. I'm like, how are you gonna get out of this one? And he was like, I got you. And I'm like, I need to stop underestimating him. But after that, this book felt fucking forever. I liked Kaz's romance and Wyland and Jasper's. That was good. Also, Matthias, what the fuck was that? That ending with Matthias, what the fuck was that? That felt so unneeded. I was like, you guys defeated the bad guys. You got what you wanted. So I didn't care for Matthias. So I don't know why that ending was like, I don't know who cared. He got better from the first book, but I still didn't like him much. And then I just felt like, I mean, yeah, it was bigger than the first Six of Crows, but like I just felt like this was too long. It took me a whole month. I didn't like it. I didn't have a good time. I had to force myself to finish it, so I didn't DNF it. And I don't know, it wasn't any like the book's fault. I just didn't care. I gave it like 4 stars because, yeah, I cared about like a couple characters, but like the plot in itself, I didn't care. So I only give it 4 stars because of Wyland and Jasper, for being honest. But everything else, didn't fucking care. No. Can I have a Wyland and Jasper story? I would like that. I don't care about Nina. I care about Wyland and Jasper, and that's the only story I care about. The final book I read in the month was Seven Husbands, Evelyn Hugo. It was good. I gave it 4 out of... What did I give it? Did I give it 5 out of 5 or 4 out of 5? I gave it 5 out of 5. And that's only because of the gay vibes, okay? I didn't care that she was a celebrity. I didn't care that... I don't know. I don't like the celebrity trope. I don't care for it. I'm thinking about, like, the only reason why I gave it 5... I was going to give it 4. Because, like, let me tell you, it was a good story. And, like, Taylor Jenkins Reid is a good storyteller. But the reason why I gave it 5 stars is because I liked her relationship with Harry. her and Harry's relationship. Oh, her and Celia and John's relationship, their whole group. I only gave it 5 stars because of them, okay? Because of them. Anything else, I don't care about her husbands. I don't care if she was a fucking famous person. I don't care about that shit. I cared about good family relationships. And her relationship with her daughter, yeah, that was like a minimal relationship, but I was like, ooh. Yes. I was planning to read this for the Buzzworderathon. I didn't finish it because guess what? The night I was supposed to finish it, the last day, that Sunday, I fell asleep. And then I didn't read it Monday, Tuesday. I ended up finishing all the way like the following week's Wednesday because of Monday. It was good. I gave it 5 stars because of the fun family show, but it wasn't like a favorite. Should I give it 4 stars? I gave it 4. I'm giving it 4 stars. I gave it 4 stars. I changed it to 4 because it's not like, I mean, for me, 5 stars are only for favorite books of like forever. But like, I liked it because of the found family chose, but it wasn't like it was not my favorite. I didn't care that she was a star, but that's that. That's all the books I read in November, and November was a rough month. It was like the first part was like, ooh, I liked the first part of the month, and then the later parts was My Buzzworderathon attempt was bleh. I'll do it again next time, but I feel like I need to do it. I don't know. I need to do it on a week where I don't have like anything planned, because obviously this was a bad idea because I thought it was gonna be hard, but I think I was just gonna fail completely. All right, so that's all the books I read in November. So I'll see you in the next video. Bye.